agora nós vamos para a próxima palestra. Nosso tema agora é hidrogênio, Brasil encontra a Holanda. Vamos conhecer nossos palestrantes. Lembrando que para esse momento nós temos um vídeo gravado pelos palestrantes Claire Ruft e David Kuller. Eles são da agência empresarial holandesa. Vamos então acompanhar o vídeo gravado por eles.
Community. The need to reduce CO2 to net zero, together with the rapidly rising world energy demand, makes the acceleration of the energy transition more urgent than ever before. An important solution lies in clean hydrogen. This energy carrier can help us move towards a more sustainable world. The Netherlands, as an international hydrogen frontrunner, has the right means at every step of the value chain to offer integrated, cost-competitive, clean hydrogen solutions. We have a highly skilled workforce, world-class knowledge institutes and engineering companies. From research and production technologies to transport and storage, numerous projects are ongoing in Europe's first so-called Hydrogen Valley, a region in the north of the Netherlands, applying an integrated approach to create a green hydrogen supply chain. But our ambition goes much further. We strive to build long-term partnerships across borders to reach common CO2 reduction goals with clean hydrogen. This is how ports are being prepared to function as hubs for the transportation of clean hydrogen, how clean hydrogen trucks are built in the Netherlands to be used all over the world, and how innovative Dutch-designed and built central heating boilers are used in hundreds of homes. Join us to seize the full potential of clean hydrogen. Together, we can accelerate the energy transition towards a carbon-neutral world.
My presentation to you today will be about the hydrogen strategy and policy in the Netherlands, and also briefly touch upon hydrogen in Europe. And David, my colleague, will touch upon the Dutch hydrogen sector, support from the government, and also how to reach out to you, solving global challenges together. In the Netherlands, there are a few drivers for hydrogen. First of all, the hydrogen production and demand. We have a large existing hydrogen market. Although it's grey hydrogen, fossil fuel based, it's a great basis for further decarbonization of industrial clusters and transport. Our ambition in the Netherlands is to have an electrolyzer capacity of 3 to 4 gigawatts in 2030. And to illustrate the ambition also of the Dutch companies is what we have in portfolio right now is double this amount. The second driver for hydrogen is our large offshore wind potential. The Netherlands is one of the front runners of hydrogen and also on offshore wind. And the synergies between these two are researched extensively. The capacity of wind, offshore wind is 21 gigawatts around 2030, and we think that can be doubled. The third driver for hydrogen is our existing gas and ports infrastructure. The Netherlands has the densest gas infrastructure of the world. And our TSO gas union is working on repurposing our natural gas grid for hydrogen right now. And also our ports are well connected to this gas infrastructure, and they are all working on becoming hydrogen hubs for the northwestern Europe. The fourth driver for hydrogen are our geographical conditions. We have extensive empty gas fields and empty salt caverns. And research has shown that it's relatively easy to use this as hydrogen storage, and there's an enormous capacity for storage, more than 90 billion cubic meters onshore and 60 billion cubic meters offshore. Our hydrogen regulatory framework, the Dutch government has been working on our energy and climate for the past years. And to illustrate the acceleration of hydrogen is that in the energy agreement in 2016, hydrogen was not mentioned at all. And in 2019, just 3 years later, in our climate agreement, hydrogen was mentioned almost 200 times. And then really everything took off. Hydrogen took off. In January last year, the innovation roadmap, Hydrogen for the Energy Transition, was presented. And just a few months later, our government presented a hydrogen strategy to our cabinet. This national hydrogen strategy honors the systemic role of clean hydrogen in the zero carbon energy supply. It also states that the Netherlands has a unique starting position for clean hydrogen, and it really pressures to use the strong momentum that's going on. And our government is working hard on adequate funding and regulations and safety issues, certifications. Also, the international strategy is worked on, and we're really working on accelerating the scaling up of import of hydrogen. This is a picture just to show you what has happened in less over 1 year on hydrogen. In March last year, our first round of our National Growth Fund was issued with adequate funding. There was a few months later, the plan for a national hydrogen program was delivered to the State Secretary, and this year we started our national hydrogen program. And just a few weeks ago, our government has published their view on the market regulation of hydrogen, and also funding for building our national hydrogen backbone. Now I'd like to touch upon hydrogen in Europe. Also, our European Commission has seen the importance of hydrogen in a clean energy transition with a European Green Deal, with plans for hydrogen valleys. For instance, in the northern part of the Netherlands, the first European hydrogen valley is worked upon. The European Hydrogen Strategy states also 6 gigawatts in 2024 and total of 80 gigawatts in 2030. So you see how fast we are all moving. Then the Fit for 55 package was issued with the policy to reach the climate targets. And of course, the war in between Russia and Ukraine has given us the Repower EU program with the goal of becoming independent from Russian gas by the end of this year. I've briefly told you about our national and European policies and regulations, and now I'd like to focus on import. On this map you see places in the world with the dark red and the light red which are favorable for producing renewable energies. Northwestern Europe doesn't have the space to produce all the renewable energy that we need. So Latin America and Brazil has become one of our focus regions to produce green hydrogen. In order to be ready for importing green hydrogen and also to have adequate and enough off-takers, the Dutch government has given €500 million to our TSO gas union to finish our national hydrogen backbone. This national hydrogen backbone connects all our ports, our major ports, with the 5 major industrial clusters, and also a gateway to the rest of Europe, to Germany and Belgium and up north. This is a picture of the Port of Rotterdam. Monica Swanson was one of the speakers this morning, and she touched upon the plans and the vision of the Port of Rotterdam to be ready for importing green hydrogen towards Europe as the gateway to Europe. The blue dots are the storage tanks, and the red dots are the electrolyzers. One major step for the electrolyzers is that Shell announced a few weeks ago that they are starting to build a 200 megawatt electrolyzer shortly. And for now, I'd like to give the floor to my colleague David.
Thank you, Claire, for introducing Dutch and European policy on hydrogen. I will continue now on showing a bit about the Dutch hydrogen sector and how we can work together with you in Brazil and in the Latin American region. The Dutch hydrogen sector is active in the whole supply chain of hydrogen, from production, transport, storage to various applications. We see that also a lot of new companies are becoming active in the sector, from startups, SMEs, but also established large energy companies. In that way, we have a long historical record in the hydrogen sector, providing technical expertise and know-how about hydrogen. We think that with this long-standing experience, we have a systemic thinking with hydrogen. It is a means of achieving our climate goals in the broader theme of the energy transition. So that we can see that a lot of companies, among those hundreds of companies in that sector, have a broad interest doing business internationally. As I told you, they are active in various segments of the hydrogen supply chain, from production, electrolyzers, to storage in caverns, but also in mobility, in homes, and other applications. Many of those companies, you can find it in our hydrogen business guide. It is including more than 150 company profiles, and also all the latest developments of hydrogen in the Netherlands and outside the Netherlands. We highlight a lot of ways that how we can work together with companies from other countries, such as Brazil. Would you like to see the guide? Please go to www.rvo.nl. As I told you, we from the Dutch government support this development wholeheartedly. And we see that the Netherlands, as a small country in Europe, has a good position to become a key player in the international hydrogen playing field. We provide quality and reliability. We have an international outlook. We have a lot of knowledge institutions, and we work together with a lot of stakeholders in the northwestern European area and also internationally worldwide with partners. Yeah, we do various things in order to foster international development on hydrogen. We bring together the key stakeholders, branch organizations, knowledge institutions, governments, but of course also businesses. We use our own good position together with the position of others in the hydrogen playing field, and organize, for example, trade missions, inward and outward. We have expert committees, we have guides, we provide market studies, and we attend conferences and events like this one to connect with you, with other partners and businesses to achieve our shared climate goals. So yeah, let's work together. We are ready. We hope Latin American parties, Brazilian parties are as well. We provide from our side business-to-business matchmaking. We like to work together on projects. And of course, as Claire already introduced, we hope we can build an import-export corridor between the Netherlands and Latin American region with our ports, our institutions, and of course, our businesses. Thank you very much. That was our presentation. My name is David Kolen, and together with my colleague Claire Hoofd-Gaafland, we welcome you to connect with us, to connect with Dutch businesses. And for now, we would like to wish you a good and inspiring rest of the summit.